Seven-gamer, especially with the home crowd behind him. What an opportunity for Kirill the Thrill. Best of 7, here we go. And the touch, he displays it up in near the net. Look at the smiles. This is emotional investment right here. These are players who really care who wins this match. First point and smiles already up on the faces. They're not just watching good table tennis, they are behind their player. And trouble on the flip, shovel serve. Half long on the forehand side, a little bit shorter on the table. And head coach Kurashima back in the corner. This is how Kirill started last time, if I remember correctly. Solid backhand to backhand rally, playing patiently. Now this is a wise shot. I think it's well played. Kirill misses the shot here, but plays it softly from the back of the table. If that comes down, it's not going to be an easy ball for Harimoto to do much with. First point for Harimoto this match. Now when Harimoto is on, this is typically quite effective for him, coming in, receiving the serve aggressively. The well-placed serve can handcuff the receiver. First towel break of the game, and Kirill GERASSIMENKO, representing Kazakhstan, is 5 points to 1 ahead. Way behind, Harimoto with some power. Rarely do we see GERASSIMENKO miss a shot when he's got that much time. Good spin from Harimoto, deep to the corner. On 1 foot, saves the point and waits in the backhand corner. Even Kizukuri's laughing. Look at this, Harimoto's doubles partner, teammate and friend is like, wow, this guy's dangerous. Team Japan knows this well as he beat Yuya Oshima about a year and a half ago. I think 2016 in Qatar. Way down, pulls off a 7-game comeback against Yuya Oshima, who was 20 in the world at the time. GERASSIMENKO wasn't even in the top 200. He might have been 224, something thereabouts. Bold long serve, just a little bit too long there. You can understand the tension. So interesting, having just talked to Kirill's father. I see their faces are so similar. Both have the Christopher Robin sort of 1940s classic Hollywood look. Oh, almost! But he doesn't give up, saves the first one, chases it down. It's one of the reasons he's so exciting to watch. It feels like the point's never over, out of nowhere with his back turned to the table. But that bending away inside out forehand slapped wins the point. Wider and wider, Harimoto not just choing and cholaying, but grunting at the point of contact, really working hard for this last ball. Now from the start of this match, GERASSIMENKO definitely controlling the points. And there it is, the Kazakhstan flag, proudly held by many. What a turnaround, Harimoto from down 1-5, wins 6 out of the next 7 points. One of which was a service error from Kirill GERASSIMENKO. That wide angle, Harimoto takes it early and it affords him the opportunity to play it that wide. Oh, back into the table on the lob. A little bit of fortune. Quick apology from Kirill. I imagine we will see a lot of points with Kirill way behind the table. From lobbing, fishing, to counterattacks and everything else. Just so exciting to watch. And Harimoto the same. And there he is. Is that David Beckham? No, it's Kirill Gerasimenko's father, Gennady. Interesting, interesting. I sort of expected to see him sitting in the corner. He's been coaching Kirill for a long time. Oh, a break off the top of the net, a bit of fortune for Harimoto. 3 game points for the junior world champion and the world record holder in so many categories, Harimoto. Forehand flip, quick to get in. It almost looked like it was a little bit late. He started late, but still made it there. Man, seriously, I didn't notice the Beckham thing before, but just almost spot on. Kirill Gerasimenko looking like the Rocketeer. Fast footwork, slides out for the forehand, plays it parallel, saves another game point. One more game point for Harimoto. The reverse pendulum sets up the third ball attack. You could only see Harimoto, but that's all you really needed to see to understand that point. So the crowd is silenced, and Harimoto takes game 1 by the narrowest of margins. We'll be back for game number 2, Kirill the Thrill versus Harimoto right after this.
Хороший правый. И от стола нельзя уходить. Окей? Направление решает все. Направление первого мяча. Первый скручивай со спином в середину.
Back for game number 2, Kazakhstan's Kirill Gerasimenko losing 11 points to 9 in game 1 after dominating at the first towel break. I feel like the energy that we found from Tomokazu Harimoto is just quite different. About halfway through the game, he started settling into his more aggressive style, opening up the rallies. But this was more in line with what we saw. Gotta love the Kazakhstan fans here, the young Kazakh players. So fast off the bounce of those backhands. This is very difficult to do, to be that tucked, such an abbreviated stroke. Harimoto is starting to build up some muscle. You can see him filling out in the legs. This will be happening. He's already taller than most of his teammates. Yoshimura may be taller. Don't know if anyone else. Power on that forehand. Harley Motor, they call him in China. If you haven't seen his Ask a Pro Anything on the official ITTF YouTube channel, make sure you take a chance to see Harimoto having some fun. Not gonna curve back close. Gerasimenko, not a lot of time to get under that ball. That's some passion right there when you want to tear your shirt off for your player. Look at this change of pace throughout. I should say the change of control, power when Kirill gets that big forehand, and Harimoto covers from the middle, takes the power back with the backhand. It's a tug of war out here, a struggle for control. Right into the body, perfect shot from Harimoto. It's interesting, there are a decent amount of players from Japan here in the crowd. I'll bet half of them are in the practice hall though. Working very hard as a country to continue improving. Soft spinny shot, well placed from Gerasimenko. The tongue out there. Some facial expression. Gerasimenko in slow-mo. I don't know if it's a survival thing that when you're young, you just have the ability to scream so much for your survival. But it's tough to imagine having a voice after screaming that much. This is not a criticism. This is just genuinely being impressed. I'm a screamer myself, and I'm done after one game of Harimoto-like screams. But it pumps him up. He said in his Ask a Pro Anything interview, it gives him power, it gives him energy and confidence. Big loop from Gerasimenko. There's the dad on the left. Calm down, ladies. Subtle topspin on the pendulum serve. And the receive, leaving a little bit to be desired for Gerasimenko. Perfect placement down the line again. Harimoto with a quick decision. Typically, when you've got someone that far behind the table, you keep them pinned in the backhand corner until you can hit a shot out of reach. That's exactly what Harimoto does here. Ooh, slight variation to the Dima serve we've had. He goes down to one knee before the backhand serve. Wouldn't be surprised if this is something he inherited from his father. Has that Eastern European feel to it, the mid-80s European feel. Harimoto so smooth with that backhand, already setting himself up for the next point. One thing Harimoto does not lack is passion, that's for sure. 4 game points. Pace on the counter and just a chule there. 11-6, Harimoto in control here, takes game 2. More confidently and more dominantly than he did in game 1 where he won 11-9. Let's see what happens in game 3. Will the home crowd have something to cheer about? Or will Harimoto be the silencer? Game number 3 right after this.
Играешь через право или середину. Даже право-направо, диагональ всегда. Играй диагональ. Если подачу вправо подаешь, всегда сбросить диагональ. Готовься, стой там, перекрывай правый угол. И спокойнее, давай.
Back for game number 3. Some conversation with friends about Harimoto's game, the power he has. While he's not a super huge guy, let service. Part of the power comes from the fact that he takes the ball so early, just less time for the opponent to react. Rarely does he back off the table. I mean, if you look at some of the all-time greats of table tennis, starting with simply the nation of China, it's not a coincidence that players who are successful tend to stay closer. Oh, it does not come down. A very wristy shot. That was Karakosevic-esque. I think it was 2007, the US Open versus Wilson Jong. Karakosevic played a ball from below the table like that went flying by. Right into the middle again, the forehand flip. From a strength standpoint, though, as we come into a timeout for Gerasimenko, I will say that physically, I think Harimoto's probably a lot stronger than he looks. Again, look at the quads. He's starting to build, and even his forearms, his arms in general, he's got He's bigger than most of the players on the team. The physical fitness is quite strong on both sides. It was tough for me to hear. I don't know if that was Kazakh, but I'm not 100% fluent in Kazakh, so I'm not going to attempt to make a translation. If I did, it'd probably just be something encouraging and way off. Here we go, Harimoto back from Kirill's timeout. You also have to imagine there's something to be said about being closer to the table in general. The thing is, if you try to play it short, Harimoto's so good over the table. And if you play it deep, you're entering the open rally, so it's got to be very specific on the table. What are you going to do against that? I mean, remember, for those of you just tuning in who haven't been following Harimoto since essentially his birth, or at least the last 2.5 years, the whole world's been talking about him. He's beaten all the legends, almost all the legends anyway, of the sport. Chinese national team, on the other hand, still has a bit of a chokehold on Harimoto, taking Shushin to Game 7 in a tournament that even Fan Zhendong couldn't beat Shushin. Harimoto was in a close position to win that match. Harimoto, one of very few players to beat Timo Boll this year, alongside Dmitry Ovtcharov. He has also beaten Vladi Samsonov. You know, it's still possible, anything could happen, but coming into this match, based on their history, Kirill, an outstanding player who's underrated, but Harimoto is on the fast track to improvement. I mean, there's, other than Dima, who just became world #1, look, we've already got a timeout. This is very astute. This is quick play. This is not someone who's waiting. And whether the call was made, I imagine the call was made by Coach Kurashima. This is the type of pressure, it's a trend even, that we're seeing the Chinese national team coaches calling earlier and earlier in timeouts. From what I caught, it seems like he talked a lot about the details, the Chiquita, just a little bit when it comes in with spin. Be ready for the quick counter game. You're strong off the bounce, stay there. I heard Yukuri slowly. Don't be bothered by the slow pace, stay relaxed. While Harimoto is definitely the faster of the two in terms of reaction time and game, short strokes on top of the table, someone like Kirill Gerasimenko could break rhythm, slowing it down. Clever idea there, soft flip, and then the big forehand from the middle. Harimoto is still not a complete player, but he's a relatively complete player. He's very comfortable letting the opponent have the first attack. Back edge of the table, but still you can see why. Harimoto from blocks to counter punches. I feel like block isn't really part of the vocabulary. He always adds something to the ball. You know, one of the highlights of the night at the Star Awards was Harimoto's speech, which we'll talk about maybe in the next game. Because right now, Harimoto has 7 game points to go up 3-0. And while from time to time you might see an exhibition point here and there, I don't think we'll see one in this match. Kirill battling in front of the home crowd. Backhand down the middle of the table saves a game point. Still 6 left for Harimoto. Oh, pressure. Kirill's everywhere. Way wide on the forehand, back in the City Group logo. And then way wide on the backhand just in case. Look at this. Anticipates well. Pressure just floating around, gliding like a ghost. Too tough, catches him while he's still backing up, and off the bounce, it's Harimoto who takes it 11-5, even more dominant than the game before. He just keeps getting better. This is the trajectory, the path. Even as you back up to look at what's happening in the life of Harimoto, we'll see game number 4 coming up right after this.
В первом сете нужно менять тактику, причем кардинально. Давай, ничего не бойся.
Back for game number 4, Kirill the Thrill Gerassimenko is looking for more than a thrill right now. He's looking to take a game and put it on the scoreboard. Harimoto has just tightened up his chokehold. Quite different than their last encounter. Although Gerassimenko has come back from way down, he loves to finish in the 7th game. Whether he loves to or he just sort of happens to, at this point he doesn't have any other option to have a successful match here. You know, there's been so much conversation about when will Fang Zhendong be world number 1. Only Ma Long was standing in his way. And now that Dima's world number 1, I'm sort of curious how long it will be before Tomokazu Harimoto is world ranked number 1. At the rate he's been improving in the matches he's brought out against even Shushin, I think it's possible that by the time he's 16, he could be a serious contender, depending on how the world rankings and the new system affect the players. But he does participate quite a lot. He's growing rapidly, maturing quickly, back edge of the table. Now, talking to Harimoto in the airport after Germany, sorry, I got distracted for a moment. Germany, he said he's not a touch player. He doesn't do a lot of tricky stuff, and that's quite clear to see. I'm wondering if he'll develop that in his game a bit as well. Just 1 point between them. Gerassimenko's second serve here. Warning on the serve, the toss, the arc of the toss was in question, tossing it back into the body. And the follow-up response is serve that outright wins the point against Harimoto. Interesting. Now, while it seems that Harimoto can block forever, we've got change in trajectory here. A little bit higher arc on the follow-up. Spinny ball from the backhand, not trying to kill it. Kirill not trying to kill, but he comes right back. What's that, 4 in a row now from down 2-4? Could these players be the future of Kazakhstan? I think I met the number 1 13-year-old in the country earlier. Oh, beautiful angle off the side. What a risky ball for Harimoto. Kazakhstan is amazing, by the way. Really been enjoying it here. Look at the side spin on that shot around the outside of the ball. So Gerassimenko back up by 1. Oh, I remember seeing this in Czech Republic. It happened many times. This reminds me a little bit of Koki Niwa's response to the high ball. Sky lob. Harimoto's like, well, I could try to hit it for power, but that's probably what you want. I'm gonna confidently touch it short. Almost a second bounce on the table. Fast long serve and the flat smack goes just long. Now, I was talking before about how Harimoto's not so much of a touch player, not for fancy things. He's really driven. But that touch shot against the lob, so difficult to drop, and he does it in a way where it looks like he's gonna smash. Oh, and there was some serious touch. Outstanding point. Harimoto plays it from down under the table, so apparently, I guess it's just not the most visible part of his game, but he has it when he needs it. It's the bow from the bow and arrow. The bocho, they call it, they being me. Oh, too good. The leg sweeping inside out forehand from Gerassimenko to cover the middle. And then he ends up chasing one right back down the line. Harimoto 2 points away from bageling Kirill Gerassimenko. And it is 2 match points. Fired up Harimoto. Don't confuse his screaming for disrespect. He's a gentleman on and off the court. He just knows what helps him play his best game and really wants it bad. Two match points against Kirill Gerassimenko. Little break there off the top of the net, but 2 quality loops nonetheless from Gerassimenko. See the bounce there off the top of the net. The second time happened so quickly in real time. 1 match point saved. 1 more to go. There it is, right into the middle. Not so common we see Harimoto frozen like that, questioning his decision on the last ball. Gerassimenko's got the fans going here. Saves 2 match points, but his job is not over yet. It's a long road, and he's got to win 2 more points. Too wide, Harimoto right at the back of the table. This is the advantage of playing on top of the table and being confident in your backhand. Gerassimenko covering the middle with the forehand. Opens up that forehand shot. 1 more match point, the 3rd one for Harimoto. Not yet, another one saved. It's interesting, Harimoto against Hugo Calderano, the thrill from Brazil, who became outrageously popular after the Rio Olympics. Harimoto was chasing the entire Game 7 from deuce onwards. And then with 1 opportunity, his first match point won the match after saving many match points. This is not Game 7, it's Game 4, but Gerassimenko has earned himself a game point right now. Tries to go parallel. In terms of the sweet spot and where the power is, this is not a tuck and rip Gerassimenko backhand. Opening one a bit, last one a little bit abbreviated. Something between a punch and a typical loop. 4th towel break of the game, the only score possible, 12 points apiece. Ooh, oh wow, what do you call it? Do you think side of the table? Seems likely. Wow, that one might be under video review in 2019. Match point back to Harimoto. Still alive, staying alive like Barry Gibb out here. 13 points apiece. Again, ITTF looking to bring the challenge system and video replay system in for 2019. It has been proposed. I think it's quite a popular idea. Gerassimenko far and away from the table. Harimoto in control on top of the bounce. Between the drop shots and the attacks that Harimoto has, he's not a short. I can't remember the last time he was super short. Maybe when he was 12 years old, he was about 5 inches shorter. But he's got some serious power now, and another match point. The long serve, and Harimoto escapes 15-13, 4 straight games. The first and the last were definitely not easy ones. And Kirill Gerassimenko claps and says thank you to the crowd. Bravo to my opponents. But thank you all for your support. Thank you for cheering me on. It's been an honor to play in front of the home crowd. And you can see the head shake. I'm sorry that I couldn't give more. I'm sorry that I couldn't take down my opponent. But if Timo Boll and Vladi can't do it, well, I don't think there's any shame in losing to Harimoto right now, no matter who you are. So Harimoto moves on. I'll tell you more about the very touching speech he gave in English if you haven't seen it yourself live from the ITTF Star Awards. But the 14-year-old wonder kid, Tomokazu Harimoto, the talk of the planet, moves on and will play the quarterfinals in the men's singles event here at the World Tour Grand Finals. Not a game dropped yet. Stick around, we've got more matches coming up for you after a little break. Stay right here to enjoy.